Naptown Tuner here. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. I've got a quick video on shop advice. I don't know how useful this will be for people, if they're gonna want more of these type of seminar videos. But look, I worked at the dealership for quite some time, and I got to see people come and go. I got to see the best of the best, and I got to see the worst of the worst. And there's all kinds of drama, and the dealer techs are almost like women sometimes, with sometimes the tickets that roll. The emotions can go up and down pretty fast with bad jobs, like maybe a body shop car that just came out of the body shop, now it's got electrical issues. For example, when you roll for that ticket, guess what happens to your emotions? You're like, this thing is gonna destroy my paycheck because we're paid flat rate. And that doesn't seem like some cut and dry little service action or some gravy service where you're just putting spark plugs in, dropping coils in, changing out the air filter, you know, something like this where you can make a quick 3.5 hours and get it done in 1 hour. Now, I could get more in depth in all kinds of this stuff, but the purpose of this video is gaining respect in the shop with your mentors and your peers. Whenever I started the dealership, I was the 7th tech. Now this dealership that I'm talking about has like 3 times that amount of employees. Audi has been growing about 15% year over year in America. Now you better seriously respect your mentors and your peers' time. You're gonna lose all your credibility and all your respect, and they're gonna be way less willing to help you out in the future if you waste your opportunities on easy things. Like, for instance, if you walk up to a Steve that's been doing this for a shade under 3 decades and just ask him, hey, I just pulled this check engine light code. Do you know what this means? Yeah, he knows what it means. He's been doing it for a shade under 3 decades. He could run your stall and his stall at the same time. But do you think he's getting anything for that? No, he's getting paid flat rate just for his bay or his bays. He's not getting any return out of dumping his knowledge into you. So you better make alliances with the best people you can. And to do that, you have to try extremely hard not to wear them out. One example of wearing techs and mentors out is constantly asking for tools. Can I borrow this tool? Can I borrow that tool? Can I borrow this tool? I don't have anything of my own, and I don't know what I'm doing anyway, and all I'm doing is just riding your coattail and trying to make money off the side of you. No. If you borrow, here's the three time rule. If you have to ask for the same tool 3 times in a row, I don't care what the time frame is, you better buy that tool yourself. In fact, don't put yourself in debt, but it might be helpful that you have things that he doesn't have. Now the chances of that happening is pretty slim. But when you can really position yourself well is when you can actually benefit the guys that know everything. And I say everything, you know what I mean. If there's anytime they need an extra hand, you need to be able to drop everything and go help them at a drop of a hat. You need to respect the time and the effort that they've put in the brand, that they've put in the dealership. You need to respect all the blood, sweat, and tears that they've endured through the difficult tickets that they just did not have that same person to. I've heard stories like, maybe I shouldn't get too off topic. So along those same lines is you better not ask for things that are easy to figure out. Whenever you ask for help, first of all, it better not be for like, how do I get this bolt loose? How do I take this apart? If you're asking something that the instructions tell you, if you're too lazy to look up the instructions, oh man, you think they're gonna help you with something difficult? You better know exactly what the instructions say before you ask for help. You better have looked up all the service bulletins, all the TSBs before you ask for help. It's pretty similar to whenever you call Technical Assistance Center. Did you do your due diligence? You're actually gonna call Technical Assistance Center and ask them for help, and you didn't put in your effort? That's a whole different thing, but that's what they have at the dealerships, and that's the last ditch effort. Let's say you need a hand, you need an extra hand. Hey, can you pull down this pry bar while I put this bolt in? If someone has to come over to your stall and do something that you could do by yourself, they know how to do it. They've been doing it their whole career. They can pull the pry bar down and put the bolt in with one hand. They don't even need two hands. But you're asking for them to come over and stop what they're doing, potentially screwing up their line of thought that they're already working on, and completely throwing a wrench in the spokes. You know, just walking away from your job and coming back to it can be pretty dangerous sometimes, because you have to remind yourself exactly where you were at, what you were doing, where you put this tool, where you put that bolt. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can do it yourself. Trust me, there's people out there that don't even have any arms whatsoever, and they do everything with their feet, or, you know, you get what I'm saying. You're capable of doing it, so figure it out, all right? Figure it out. This isn't to say that the shop environment should not be like a team effort, even though it's not set up like that at all. It seems like it's a lot more cutthroat. And yeah, the guys that have been putting in the time and the effort and have been there for decades and longer, way longer than you, they're gonna have an easier life, not only because they know what they're doing, but because they might get fed. The dealership might help them, the service advisors might feed them some easier work, some better work, but you know what? They earned it. Maybe once you get to their position in 15, 20 years, you might get fed just like they're getting fed right now. Don't have any animosity or get all pissed off about it. Look, you need to fill the shoes that they're filling right now. And if they help you out, if they give you advice, if they're helping you understand what you're doing at the dealership, and you understand that they're not getting any return for it, you better buy them lunch from time to time. You better bring breakfast in. You better help make sure that they know that you're there whenever they need any kind of help whatsoever. Anytime a car needs pushed in the shop, you better be behind that car pushing it in for them. Anytime they need someone to rev the gas pedal so they can listen for a noise, you better be willing to run over there and do it for them. You need to be like their little servant. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. You need to understand that they are making your life so much easier, and they're willing to do it because you're willing, and you understand that they've put in their time. Don't be a little crybaby, and don't act timid and submissive. That's not to backtrack on what I just said about being willing to help them at a drop of a hat, because you're going to expect them to be willing to give you advice, not so much hands-on things. You just want to be able to have them open their mouth and tell you things as they're making money still working. But when you ask a question, don't ever ask if you can ask a question. Don't ever be like, hey, can I ask you a question about this car on my left? Hey, can I pick your brain about this check engine light code? No. You go up to someone that knows what they're talking about and exude confidence and you better be prepared to explain what you've done before coming up to them and asking them for anything. Because they know what they're talking about. That's why you're asking them for help, for advice. So if you have, for instance, some kind of check engine light, if you have a P2188, you better have looked up all the information you possibly could look up for that code. Know exactly what it is, exactly what it means. You better have used the factory scan tool all the way through, follow whatever kind of test plan you have, and then if he asks you, did you try this? Did you try that? Because you don't want to start this back and forth thing. He doesn't want to start some dialogue with you like, go try this and come back to me and then we'll try the next thing. No. You better, I took the high pressure fuel pump out and I already smelled it and it does or it does not smell like fuel. So you can take it out and be like, well, I have this P2188, but I already took the high pressure fuel pump out and I looked for evidence of fuel mixing with the oil, but I don't have anything smelling like fuel. I don't have any fuel mixing with the oil from what I can tell. So is there any other cause that this P2188 might be? Because I've already checked this. That's the kind of position you want to be in. You don't want to say, okay, I'll go check that, and then come back and say, no, I didn't smell any fuel. What's next? No, you do everything that you can possibly think of before asking the question, please. If you gained any kind of insight from this video, or you like advice type videos, please hit the thumbs up button to let me know what videos are more popular than others. And look, everyone wants to make more money, and to do that you need to be productive, you need to turn hours, you need to have fixed right the first time. You don't want the rechecks, you don't want the comebacks, and you don't want to wear out your fellow mentors and employees. So that's all I got for you this time.